we're seeing still some institutional interest in Bitcoin. Initially, we saw it going in, buying Bitcoin, and you could tell that because we saw about 35,000 Bitcoin leave Coinbase alone, which is one of the larger retail exchanges. When sizes of that amount leave an exchange, particularly that exchange, that means it's going over to an over-the-counter market, which means there were buyers. Somebody came in and bought a significant amount, somebody with an institutional size amount. Subsequently, there's been some institutional selling in the over-the-counter market. So, again, Bitcoin is a very volatile asset still. Nonetheless, there is increased institutional interest in it. Institutions these days, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even when you talked about institutional interest, you meant mom and pop shops. Now you're starting to look at the Mass Mutuals of the world. BlackRock's more interested in it. You have Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller. They're talking up Bitcoin. So it's a different environment than it was a few months ago, even.
But I'm going to speak in very broad terms, which is dangerous, Lawrence, when it comes to talking about anything crypto related. But as you know, but hey, it's TV. They have tended to trade together to a point. Let's bring up that graphic we just had up. Bitcoin is now down 10%. You have, I think it was Ethereum. I saw it, glanced at it, might be flat or even slightly higher. I know Goldman likes Ethereum. Are they starting to become their own things? Are they starting to trade independently, or do you still see them sort of moving with the overall crypto tide?
Over the weekend, getting back to that, there was some rotation into so-called altcoins. If you look at the 20 assets that we track in the Coindesk 20, almost all of them are up except for Bitcoin and one other one. So overall, the alts are up, particularly if there's going to be an alt that's up right now, it'd probably be Ether, because it's the second largest by market cap. It also has its own narrative that's separate from Bitcoin. It's used as the underlying network for a lot of DeFi, which decentralized finance, which is a new realm in finance and crypto finance that's been growing over the past few months. So that's where a lot of interest is now. People are turning and saying, okay, what's the next hot move? And so, of course, some people are looking at Ethereum, and they're also rebalancing their portfolios such to do that.
Yeah, it's Ripple XRP that is up right now. There's so many, by the way, coins. I mean, there's no way to get into all of them. There are some that are trading for pennies, some that are obviously tens of thousands of dollars. Right now, Lawrence, what would be the most interesting storyline around Bitcoin that you are following?
So again, it's the institutional interest still. And of course, there is the idea that over the long term, we're going to start to see some more interest, just because from a portfolio management point of view, correlations to S&P 500, correlations to gold. When you look at the 90-day correlation with gold, it's 0.25. That's the correlation coefficient. With the S&P 500, it's 0.22. So even though you have a high volatility asset, you have the at the money volatility, implied volatility in the options market for Bitcoin right now is about 100%. Nonetheless, you had high returns. So when you have high returns, despite high volatilities and low correlations for a portfolio manager, you look at that and you go, okay, well, I need to rebalance my portfolio in a way that makes sense. And so you might see more people just doing it from that perspective, adding crypto to their portfolios, just because the correlations are lower relative to other asset classes.